Ciao, I'm Chris. Welcome to a new episode of OCD Geeks.
And I'm Jack. Hi guys, welcome back.
What's going on, Jack?
Standard day here, Chris. Nothing new compared to the other days. What about you?
Yeah, same here. The most exciting things about today is our recording.
Sure, as many times before.
Pretty much on a weekly basis or even twice during a week.
Yes, we have fun doing it.
Yes, and I hope you have fun listening to us. As you remember, guys, we talked about Ted Lasso Season 2. This time, we want to talk about another Apple TV Plus original. In this case, it's about Schultz, Peanuts creator.
It's quite new. Actually, it was very interesting for me because you can see by watching this documentary how Schultz's life is related to the creation of the protagonists.
Pretty much we assume that all of you are familiar with Peanuts, with characters such as Charlie Brown, Linus, and Snoopy. So we are not going to explain into further details about these characters. What you might not be so familiar is Schultz's life and insights. This documentary is plenty of them. I was surprised about his life and his passion for drawing because he has done that basically for 50 years, from the 90s 50 up till 2000. The last strip was published the day of his death. That is how it's connected to his creation.
It also struck me his determination to keep working on a weekly basis, even in those times when he was not feeling okay with his health, when he was hospitalized, he was constantly thinking about his work and about drawing. His dedication is something very uncommon. I think this documentary portrays it really good. As well, it portrays also the vision of many Peanuts fans. It gives voice to readers and famous people who share their opinion about this comic strip.
Even now in 2021, Peanuts' legacy is still very strong, and even a younger generation, for example, I think at my cousin that she is 11, she is so familiar with characters like Snoopy, Charlie Brown, and a bunch of them. It's something that has no generation, so it started from even our grandparents and parents' generations way up to kids in school nowadays.
Yes, my grandmother also knows pretty much all of the characters. I think it's really good because I thought she was reading some stories to my dad, and my dad also read some to me. So it's a storytelling that goes through generations. It's really cool because there are not so many creations nowadays that can do like this. For example, I don't know, I don't have a comic strip that I know for sure that I would read to my kids. For sure, I could think about Peanuts.
Of course, maybe another example could be Mickey Mouse.
Yes, Mickey Mouse too, but I was not used to reading Mickey Mouse stories. Not for me, actually.
Even if I started reading Peanuts during my elementary school years, at the same time I was not able to spot all the references about topics such as the most important questions of life or philosophy, this kind of topic that are more related to adults. I was simply enjoying the story and the jokes. Even now that both me and Jack are in our early 30s, we appreciate the contents of these strips.
Yes, I think when one is adult could appreciate every feature and aspect of these comic strips, which are really deep. When you're adolescents, I think that you can relate to those stories, but you cannot fully appreciate what is the context of these creations. When you start growing up, you can find always new perspective about it. That's really surprising.
In the documentary, you discover that even Schultz relate to Charlie Brown. So there is even one line when he said, "I am Charlie Brown." At the same time, there is a little bit of personality of the creator in each of every characters, even like Lucy or, Snoopy, that is the dreamer. I think one of the key of this success is that even us can relate to Charlie Brown, or at least me, I relate mostly to him, but all the other characters as well. So for example, the more philosophical character might be Linus. I relate to him as well. That's why I think Peanuts is a global phenomenon worldwide, not even just in the US, but even in Europe and in Asia.
Yes, it's widespread worldwide throughout all these years. I think the character I could relate the most in my adolescence years was Snoopy, because he was dreaming all the time, not even knowing where he was walking or just lying on his little house and dreaming.
I have a dog. He's 2 years old now. Sometimes I can relate him to Snoopy as well, because he's very independent and he likes to do things his own way and he doesn't listen so much. So, I can see a little bit of Snoopy on his side as well.
Yes, I think he's totally dreaming.
Maybe dreaming about the next lunch or something like that.
Or even more profound and deep thoughts that you could not even acknowledge.
Yes, I cannot be sure about that, so it might be possible.
Yes.
Even if me and Jack, we were already familiar with Peanuts, we were able to find plenty of insight in this documentary. So even if you are a long-time Peanuts fan, I would totally recommend you to watch it. At the same time, if you are approaching Peanuts to the first time, or maybe you have younger kids, I would totally recommend you to watch it with your family members.
Totally, I could recommend it too. I could even recommend it to watch all the episode of Peanuts, starting from the Christmas of Charlie Brown, from the very old one that you could watch on TV. By now it's all, of course, online.
Even for adults and younger generations as well, there is also another series about Snoopy, still on Apple TV+. I believe that these stories are original. At the same time, even if it was not Schulz directly to write them, they are very faithful to the original atmosphere. So I will totally recommend to check those out as well.
I think that's a really important thing to care about, the truthfulness to the original creation.
What is the most important aspect of the documentary that had a major impact on you watching it?
What really struck me is how every person could relate to many of the central characters. The fact that the documentary highlights that every one of us has an aspect of ourselves which is relatable to a different character. Today we are a little bit of Snoopy, tomorrow we could be Linus, or the other day even Charlie Brown.
Or Lucy if we are quite mad with the world.
I think that yes, really, it's a world full of surprises and enclosed in itself.
One aspect that had a major impact watching this documentary was Schultz's passion for his work. I believe that if you are doing something in your life that is very meaningful for you and give you joy, I think it might be one of the keys to find happiness. If you are doing something that you really don't enjoy and it's quite stressful, life can be quite hard. At the same time, watching Schulz so dedicated each of every day for 50 years doing something that he used to love, that is something that inspired me to do something in my life that I would love as well, in order to find happiness and meaning.
There is also a good image in the documentary when Linus is basically telling him that it's not so important to focus on the existential questions that dominate our everyday lives, but just enjoy the moment and live day by day, being sure that the meaning will come little by little.
If you are looking for it, the documentary is called Who Are You, Charlie Brown? There is an original story as well. One day at school, the teacher gave a task to Charlie Brown to write a little essay about who are you. So Charlie Brown started to ask questions both to himself and to his friend as well, in order to find an answer. This is the storyline of the documentary. While Charlie Brown was looking for his answers, even us as viewer can quite relate to him. So it's quite powerful message.
Yes, it's challenging because in the end we question our identity. We never stop doing it. We started when we were younger and we keep questioning it nowadays.
What this documentary left to me is a desire to rediscover both the animation series of Snoopy on Apple TV Plus while reading the classical stories as well, even from the early 50s when it all started.
Guys, if you're going to watch it, let us know in the comment down below what you think about it. Let us know if you already found your identity or if you, like Charlie Brown, are looking for answers day by day. Looking forward to hearing your replies.
At the end of it, you even discovered the score that Charlie Brown was given. It was like a C minus. There is plenty of things to improve there. While I think Lucy were able to get an A.
Yeah, there are many things in life to work on.
At the same time, I would be curious to read their essays as well.
Me too, it seems full of answers.
Yeah, but she has all the answers in the story. She's even too much secure of herself. While,
Yes, it's true.
Charlie Brown, as even myself, I am full of doubts and still looking for answers.
Charlie Brown, it's not a case that it's the main character of the story, because we are all fragile, we are all looking for answers, and nobody perfect, nobody is born, with the truth in their hands.
Now you remind me a story about my school years. I used to have a big passion for skateboarding. At the same time, I was not able to land so complicated tricks like I wanted to. So I kinda have the same idea about Charlie Brown, who were wishing to kick the ball, but all the time he used to fail about it. So I kinda relate to his passion, but at the same time his struggles in the sports.
Yes, it's true, Chris. Even I'm not remembering anything now, but I'm sure I had something I wished to be good at, but I was not. So I kept trying and failing when I was in middle schools.
I would say like most of us, but that was also an important lesson in order to grow.
Yes, and to improve.
Guys, let us know in the comments down below what are your thoughts about it. Even if you haven't watched it yet, please let us know what's your favorite character. I'm pretty sure you are familiar with this series, like us, or even more. We are very much looking forward to hear from you.
That's totally true. Don't forget to check out our new site www.ocdgeeks.me,
as well as our Instagram pages, Cris.ocdgeeks and Jack.ocdgeeks, if you want to interact with us directly.
We also have a Discord server, OCD Geeks.
For now, let them talk, our freaks.
We stay tuned on OCD Geeks.